Welcome to Meadowbrook Memories Podcast. I am Jelly, otherwise known as Glacier Prince, and my co-host is Hitchcock, otherwise known as Alfred Henry. Our mission on this podcast series is to explore the stories behind the magic that was created at Meadowbrook. When over a span of 4 years, between 1982 and 1986, we saw the transformation of a small co-educational school with less than 1,200 students, 800 boys, 800 girls and 400 boys into a successful sports and scholastic champion, winning 7 major trophies, 3 Sunlight Cup, 2 Topping Cup, 1 Walker Cup, and 1 Nutriment Shield. And to crown these achievements, Meadowbrook also produced 2 Rhodes Scholars, Cavell Creighton in 1987 and Andrea Wright in 1989, both graduates of Meadowbrook in 1983. In this podcast series, we'll be speaking to persons, both males and female, who are actively involved in this incredible journey, along with friends and staff at Meadowbrook, which inspired the environment which created this golden era. We hope you enjoy our discussion. Please give us as much support and encouragement as you can on whatever social media platform you are listening. Welcome and thanks for joining us. Alright, ready? Alright, today is Friday, July 22nd, 2022. And welcome back to another conversation about Meadowbrook Memories. Me, as usual, Jelly, our Glacier, our Prince, our Lance. And by now, no, so any one of those names will do.
Enough name.
Today we are joined as co-hosts. Today we are joined as co-hosts by the one and only Margaret Livermore, who without her tireless effort, all of these conversations involving female would not be happening. So I have to thank her for that. Also joined as on the conversation is someone who don't need an introduction because he has frequently to come in and help with co-hosting and chart notice, my good friend Tony Moore. Our guest this week first came to Meadowbrook. Our guest this week is a first because this is the first time we'll be having a Meadowbrook couple on these Meadowbrook Memories conversations, so this should be good. Dwight and Lizander Lawrence both started in Meadowbrook in the same year, 1978. Both had the same surname, and they were both.
Don't start.
And they were both teased at school, and they were both our brothers and sisters.
Don't start.
Dwight went to Dwayne Park Primary before he came to Meadowbrook, and Lizander went to St. John Primary and grew up in the same area my wife grew up, which I affectionately call my wife a junglist. And for those who aren't familiar with the lingua, that's Arnett Garden Community in South St. Andrew. Both Dwight and Lizander left Meadowbrook in 1983, but they are here tonight to tell us their Meadowbrook memories, and especially how 2 people with the same surname ended up getting married. But Dwight and Lizander is here to tell the stories. So welcome, Dwight, introduce yourself, and then Lizander introduce yourself afterwards, and then Margaret and Tony. Go ahead, Dwight. First, just introduce yourself when you come Meadowbrook. Go ahead.
After that introduction, can I go any further? You just threw me a whole pile of mix-up a while ago. I'm going to lead off by saying that my memories of Meadowbrook High School started off with me not even knowing about Meadowbrook High School. Mm-hmm. Right? I went to Dwight Park Primary, took my common entrance, was at the house looking for my 2 picks, Casey and Calabar, because my brother went to Casey, only to hear my next door neighbor screaming out my name. And when I went over to our house, she told me I was going to Meadowbrook High School.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. We'll get to that, man. We'll get to that, Dwight. Man, we'll get to that. Oh. But go introduce yourself first, and then we'll come back to that.
All right, no problem.
Yeah, man, we'll get to that. Lizander, introduce yourself. Just say what year you go Meadowbrook, and from what year to what year.
Oh. So hi, I'm Lizander, yes, Lawrence, but again, we'll explain that. We're not brothers and sisters. We did our homework. Went to Meadowbrook 1978 to 83. Graduated then and actually lived in Jamaica for a few years before I actually migrated here. So I feel like my memories is going to be a little bit different from some of the others, but as we talk, we'll figure that out.
Yeah, man, yeah. And Margaret, reintroduce back yourself. Welcome back.
Hi, Margaret Livermore. good friend of the Lawrences met both of them in 1978.
Yep.
Graduated in 83, although I left Meadowbrook in 84.
Yeah.
Tony.
And Tony Moore, introduce yourself. Reintroduce back yourself, my brother.
Yeah, man. Respect, Jelly, Lizander, Dwight, Margaret. Always a pleasure, Jelly. Special pleasure this time because I've known Dwight more than Lizander, but I've known him since high school days. Dwight and I go back from playing sports and we'll get into that later. But here's what I will say though. I've seen them as a Meadowbrook couple together and I've seen them in their own space. And I will tell you that what they have is special. And I'll also tell you that the chemistry that dates back to high school is just something you can't recreate. And so they're in a special place. So happy to be here with them and looking forward to this conversation.
Yeah, man. Thank you, Tony. Thank you. So by now, if you listen to some of the podcast, but someone don't listen. So the first question we always ask Dwight, I'm going to start with you. Most of the time, I'm going to start off with you with the question. Did you choose Meadowbrook or Meadowbrook choose you?
Meadowbrook choose me.
Okay.
Without a doubt.
Go into that then. Go into that, Dwight. Tell me how that go.
So, going back, common entrance, it's one of those things where didn't know about Meadowbrook, didn't know Meadowbrook High School existed till common entrance, and my next door neighbor tell me that I was going to Meadowbrook. First and foremost, I had to find out where it was. And when I showed up, it was quite an amazement for me because I was not expecting to go to a co-ed school again, but got there and it was, I was pleasantly surprised. That way. And go ahead.
No, man, why were you surprised? You were pleasantly surprised. Let me ask you why.
Well, the whole feel of the school, because of course when I got there it was Mr. Thorpe's last year. Getting the feel of the school and everything, getting the feel of the people, realized that it was you could form a family if you wanted to, put it that way. Right. That was the beginning of where I am, right? The beginning of the story.
Well, Dwight, you did form a family.
I was just going to say that to him. Thank you.
Not Craig, you did.
Did, exactly.
Hey, but you do realize that I said you could form a family if you wanted to, right?
Wait, is it my turn?
Yeah,
man, listen, sorry, we're not leave you out. Don't worry. Did you choose Meadowbrook or Meadowbrook choose you?
Okay. So Meadowbrook chose me because similar to Dwight and I'm sure quite a few others, I had no idea where Meadowbrook was, that Meadowbrook existed. The schools that I've chosen, I had chosen Holy Childhood and Wolmer's only because I had really good friends that attended those schools. So, and like Dwight, I was okay with all the school. So when I was looking and didn't see it, I was like, okay, darn, here we go. Where am I going to go to school? And then similar to him, it's a friend of my mom's that actually pointed it out because we weren't looking anywhere else. So when they saw the name, I told her, I'm like, okay. When I got there, it was different because for one, I was always a loner, if you will. I kind of kept to myself. I don't make friends as easily, I think, as others do. So it for me was a little difficult adjusting for the fact that I knew no one there. And as for the making family, yes, I came away with great friendships, sisters, and eventually a husband who just disowned me, but it's okay. Well, you said you didn't. You almost, or you didn't say you had a family out of it.
We'll visit that statement later. Visit the statement later.
Yeah, we're not going to do that. Meadowbrook memories we talk about. We soon come to that. No? So, all right, Dwight, you come up on the Meadowbrook campus now.
Oh my goodness!
And the first day you come up on the campus, what stand out to you? The first day, the first week, the first term. What stand out to you? You remember the most?
The thing that I remember the most was coming from primary school in Duane Park and going to Meadowbrook. It was almost like a different kind of culture because it was the people were different. Going into the whole what's the word I'm looking for? It's like the structure of what high school was going to bring for me was a lot different. So for me, going into high school, it was just a whole different feel. Knowing that I was doing different classes and all of that stuff, and now had to make a whole new slow friends.
So what impression you get when you come on the campus in terms of say, come on and you say, where the school was, you say you never know where Meadowbrook there before. I chose you. Yeah. What impression you get, the first impression you come on and you look on Meadowbrook and you say, wait, okay.
I was uptown with a whole bunch of uppity people.
So you used to live at Duane Park. You say go Duane Park primary. You used to live at Duane Park.
Yep.
Okay.
So I'm up in Meadowbrook now, and I'm like, okay, so I'm person with some rich people. All right, cool. Let's see how this venture is gonna go.
It's a workout, yeah. I come from Promocar, but when I see that uptown, I just say, yeah, man, some nice girl there. So that's all I did say. And I say, so Liz, the first impression you got when you come up on the campus now, because you come from downtown, as they say, and you have to take a whole heap of bus. I don't know if the white will come at school, but your journey to school has been a long journey. What impression you get when you come up on the campus?
So for me, getting to the campus, the first thing was it was a smaller school than I had thought. I don't know why. I just thought it was gonna be bigger, but smaller was good for me because that means there was less people around, only because of what my personality was. So I thought, all right, this is easier for me to navigate. So I appreciated the fact that it was a smaller campus than even the ones that I'd chosen. You know what I mean? And I mean the location, I like the location, but similar to Dwight, I figured, okay, all right, I'm gonna run into some people that feel like they might be a little bit better than others. I tried not to prejudge, but I had some of those experiences as time went on. But I'd be lying if I said I didn't expect it, so to speak. Yeah.
So do I just say your brothers then? You have two brothers they were older brothers, they went to different schools.
No, I have an older brother that went to Kingston College, and my younger brother actually followed me to Meadowbrook.
Oh, really? That's interesting. So why him follow you at Meadowbrook? Him choose Meadowbrook or Meadowbrook chose him too?
No, him the too bad and him couldn't get into school. So my parents actually came up there and spoke to Miss Millwood, who actually got him into the school.
I got you.
I can't believe Dwight just put that out there like that.
Yes, I did.
Oh
yes,
my God.
Yes, I did. But Margaret, how long you know me now? Okay.
And your brother was how much younger? What farm was in?
He was 2 farms below.
2 farms below, okay.
Yes. I was only a rebel, man.
Yeah. So where you come on? Sorry, go ahead, Dwight. Go ahead.
I remember them affectionately referring to Dwight's brother as Sister Red. So
yes.
My big brother name.
That's exactly what they call him, because him the red man face with him red here.
Oh, yeah. If I see the picture, I can't visualize it. I remember you, Dwight, very well, but I don't remember your brother at all. I don't remember your brother, but I remember you. Once you sent me the picture, I remember you very well, man, because I light up the campus with a broad smile. I always remember that. So.
Yeah, under the guidance of Mr. Strudwick.
Oh yeah, you talk about him. I get into that. I'm a good
Yeah.
guy. Me and him start Meadowbrook together. So yeah. Well,
Yes.
I look like him inspire a whole heap. So you come on the campus now. Hold on. But Liz, you had brothers and sisters go to different school. Who?
So
Yeah, go ahead. Talk about that.
no, go ahead. What was
No, man. The question is, did your brother and sister look by your school and say, "Where you going Meadowbrook for?" Or
Actually, no. So I'm the youngest of 5, and my older sister went to Charles Smith Comprehensive High School, which is the neighborhood school.
your community school, yeah.
Right. And my brother, the brother that I followed, went there as well.
Mm-hmm.
So when I like I said, I thought I was going to end up going there as well, because especially when I didn't see my name on any of the high schools that I'd chosen.
Mm-hmm.
So we all went to primary school together. So it was new for me to now be away from them.
Mm-hmm.
So it's not that they figured that, okay, Rotted, now she gone all the way at Meadowbrook and thing. I think they were okay with it because they figured the neighborhood school compared to me going to Meadowbrook and getting exposure and meeting different people and all of that. They were actually okay with it. They didn't give me any kind of flack for it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I just miss not being around them, like I said, because they were always like my support system. Again, I'm the baby, I'm the spoiled one. They always looked out for me, all of that kind of stuff. So I knew I would have to fend for myself, so to speak.
So you come up on campus. I come back to you, Dwight. I ask Liz this question first. You come up on campus now. Who are some of the students and teachers who inspired you in the first term? Apart from the White, coming if I'm inspired from early, so.
I'm not falling for it, Billy. I'm not falling for it. I'm focusing on the question. Inspiration-wise, teachers, Mr. Belnavis was my history teacher.
That's a Gerald Belnavis.
Gerald Belnavis.
Yeah, man, good friend that. Yeah.
Because of him, I learned to appreciate history.
Okay, nice.
And we had conversations, about life as well, based on I'm a student, he's a teacher, whatever, because I also heard that there was some kind of other stuff, but we're not gonna go there. But he was very inspirational to me. I appreciated also what's the other bio teacher, Maxine, the lady?
Oh, Miss Barbara?
Yes.
Barbara,
yes.
Mrs. Bramley.
Mrs. Bramley, no, yes, Mrs. Bramley. Sorry, yes, she married Mrs. Bramley by that time, maybe, yes.
Yes.
I was listening to you guys' podcast the other day with Max, and that baby in the jar that y'all were talking about, I remember it.
Yep.
Everybody remembered the baby, but only after Tony Moore mentioned it.
I remembered it clearly when he said it. I'm like, dang, he is so right. Yep, we're looking at it. So I appreciated her because I feel like even in her teachings, she kept it real. She had honest conversations as well. And I think I grew to appreciate differences in people, if that makes sense. Just from some of the conversations that I've had with Mr. Belnay, with her, other teachers. It's kind of different. You're gonna have to help jog my memory because I feel like some of the memories are kind of blocked out. But
Shelly, if I may ask a question.
Yeah, man, go ahead, Tony. Go ahead.
And most females in first and second form also had I don't know if I'd call it inspiration, maybe I'll call it fascination for Mr. Neer. I'm just curious for you.
No, I was not a part of that club.
Me neither.
Furthest thing from my mind. But I knew that it existed, Tony. I knew it was out there, but no, I was not a part of that club.
All right.
And I don't think we had him as a teacher. Do you remember?
No, we didn't.
Yeah, we didn't have him as a teacher, so I didn't have any reason to get to know him any more than him being a teacher there.
Yeah.
Neatly put. I like that. Tony?
Right?
That's right. Enough schoolgirl in a jelly, enough schoolgirl I walk pathway and a perhaps Mr. Near. Cause we hear it in the classroom.
Yeah, man. Yeah, I hear about that club that was, as Lizander put it. I heard about that club. No worries.
And blessings to we're not talking in a disrespect.
No.
Not at all. Not at all.
Yeah.
It's real.
Yeah. So the question go to you too, and see when I ask Lizander, some of I ask, who are some of the teachers or the schoolmates, apart from Lizander, who inspired you early in the Meadowbrook?
You could lead up on the OT.
No, I mean,
The jelly slick.
I'm going to be honest, because as weird as it is, Mr. Nair and Mr. Hare, the PE teacher, was the only two teachers that actually at any time ever sat down and had any conversations with me as far as where I wanted to go, what I wanted to do. I never had any other teacher approach me at the level that they did. So it was like they were trying to figure out what I wanted to, because I was so active in sports, especially. I pretty much took part in every sports that Mr. Hare coached.
So to expand on the conversation, the word, I never know that. Tell me how that you go. Tell me how that conversation go, if you want to share that.
Well, he wanted to know if I wanted, like Mr. Hare wanted to know if I wanted to pursue sports outside of school.
Mm-hmm.
Right. And at the time, at that age, it was something I was interested in.
Mm-hmm.
But, as time progressed and got to fifth form and life threw a monkey wrench into plans, it never came to fruition.
Mm-hmm.
But something that I've always wished I had the opportunity to do.
Mm-hmm.
Because right after school, my parents snatched me up and migrated right to America. So I never had the chance. That's why I didn't even get a chance to go to sixth form, because the whole fifth form graduation for me, that was my end of school, because they had their plans.
Yeah. Enough.
I have a quick question for Dwight.
Yeah.
If you had your choice,
Mm-hmm.
in terms of a sporting career, which one would you have chosen?
Track.
Really?
Track and field. That's a good question, Margaret.
Okay.
And I feel like that would be good. Expand on that, Dwight. What inspired you for the track? I thought before the strategy. Go ahead. Yeah, go ahead, Tony. Sorry.
Before Dwight expand upon that, Dwight underselling himself in a huge way. Because you see, I got there in second. When I'm in first form, Dwight is in second form, right? Dwight, correct me if I'm wrong, because I'm going by memory here.
Right.
Dwight played Pepsi, and I thought maybe he was the goalkeeper. I don't remember exactly.
Yeah.
But Dwight was an outstanding athlete in Pepsi, right? As a second former, because he was on the younger side then and could go back and forth.
Mm-hmm.
And I will tell you this. When it came to track, class 4 track in 1979, 1980, Dwight was the most dominant runner. But a guy named Paul Chalmers that could have run, Charlie Brown from Dunrobin, with a next guy named Hugh Lindsay who could have run, with a guy just budding named Christopher Jones. And Dwight flagged them all. He was the class 4 champion in 100 and 200 meters. Dominant. If Dwight had continued his passion for the sport, Dwight, and he was a 3-person sport as well, so he could have gone far and excelled far. And so I'm curious to hear why he didn't pursue it as much, but he's selling himself short. He was a dominant sport figure in first and second and even third form.
And not just track and field alone, as I say.
But football, too, man. Strong football player. He had a second, and Dwight, I want you to talk about it. He had a second farm team that won Interfarm that was an all-star team that he led.
Yeah. So I appreciate that, Tony, because a lot of people don't remember that, and it was funny because it was about 2 years ago, my mom found all the certificates that I had for the whole first place thing throughout high school. Son, the whole um
Sports day thing.
pretty much, yeah, it was a couple of trophies and stuff. I never really spoke about it because a lot of people's memory, unfortunately for me, they remembered it differently, right? So for you to remember that, I appreciate it because very few people remember that I was that person,
Yeah.
right? But it was like I said, it's life, and when you have those parents that want you to do what they want you to do, it's not what you want to do. It's that direction, unfortunately, that took me away from the whole sports.
Well, I got
Because
you.
Dwight, when you got to third form, it's like you lost either the passion for it. Now, to be truthful, Christopher Jones came in an unusual form and was dominant. But it's almost like even on the football and even the cricket, it's like you weren't as dominant or as passionate for it when you like third form, fourth form as you were in the early years. I'm curious why. Is that the parental influence you're talking about?
Yeah, pretty much because there was things that you'd have to do after school, and I wasn't able to do it. I wasn't allowed to do it. I had to bring my butt home. So because of that, and I wasn't able to keep up with the training that I needed, and that kind of took the wind out of me for the most part. I was like, okay, I'm trying to do something here, but I'm not allowed to do it. So why even bother?
So I'll go on record to say if you had stayed with it, you'd have, as you did Pepsi, you'd have. And weren't on the Colts team that the dreaded withdrawal?
Yes.
I think what Dwight has said when Tony is that there's not even if him that safe eating is like if him parents was a different type of parents, I will not condemn nobody.
Right.
His parents have them vision for them child.
Yes.
And them not allow you for flourish a certain. I was lucky, Tony, you were lucky. You could have played in the sport or want to play. Nobody not tell you if for playing the sport. Never say keep up your grade and go play sports.
Right.
So for the luck of the job, because you're right about that, Tony. Dwight, I remember him as a talented athlete. You follow me, I said to you, so you're right about that. All right about that.
Dominant.
I'm right about that. So let me get into this, because I need to know this,
Yeah.
So Lizander, right? Let me get into this, When I end up now, I don't know if we're married, if we know each other from school in a certain way, but let me ask this. Did you, when you see the Dwight the first time, were you attracted to him a certain way, or is long afterwards in the meet up on the side say, let me get this out of the way, because I need to know, I have to fast early. And then we can come back to the Meadowbrook stuff.
This is so jolly. I really wish you had started with it. Yes, but I'm going to ask you a question. So I've always really liked him as a person.
From school?
Yes, from school.
Cool, yeah.
I've always known him as a really kind, humble person with a good heart. And I respected and liked him for that, but it was never a romantic kind of friendship.
It was from a distance.
Purely no, we had a friendship.
Yeah, okay, I got you.
Yeah, we had a friendship. He was around my friend group, for lack of a better word. So we had a friendship, but it was always platonic in my view. Now I can't speak for anyone else, but
glad you said that, because I was going to ask Jelly to get Dwight's perspective.
Of course, me come to him. No, Margaret, me not make him get away with this.
This is your friend, so I remember your friend put that out there.
I've always known him and liked him as a person. So I've always known him to be a good person.
So you didn't, but there was nothing going on at school. You just know him from
there was nothing romantic during school per se. So I say that to say, after school, we still had a friendship, and after he migrated, if I remember this correct. I'm sure he's gonna correct me if I get it wrong. But after he migrated, he came back and he visited. And I'm gonna leave that and have him tell his story. I'm not trying to put words in anyone's.
All right. So, let me ask you, Dwight. So, when you saw at Meadowbrook, did you have any? Was there Margaret? Did catch your eye in from early? Let me ask a question that way. Not Margaret. Sorry, Lizander. Sorry, Lizander.
Yeah.
So
Wait. Yes.
no, they're asking me. Yeah, it was one of those things where it was like, wow, okay. that could be for me if it was available for me, but unfortunately for me it wasn't. I hadn't reached maturity level yet to be on her level. So the little boy had to grow up.
Yeah, Dwight. I know what you're talking about. No, I understand what you're talking about. But go ahead, yes.
There you go. So yeah, to her statements are very correct. You know, after school I migrated. The first year I came back, went to visit her. We talked. I won't get into how deep the conversation went, but I'm just gonna say we talked. I shot my shot. It got shot the hell down. And we maintained a friendship and communication to a point where we kind of lost communication with each other after a while.
Listen to me, Jelly. Let me clarify that piece.
Clear it up for me, Margaret.
Start with that piece, okay?
Lizander, sorry, yeah.
He came back, and I'm not gonna lie. Like I told you where I was living, he got major props for being brave enough.
Yeah, for come down in that area, yes. A big man,
Right.
what's wrong with you?
Right.
Could have dead, you know.
Exactly. Anything could have happened. So I appreciate the fact that he made that trip.
And she wasn't even home.
I think what he's trying not to say is I was in a relationship for most of the time through school, so that's why he felt like okay, I had to grow up.
Yeah.
What you said to him? Who said I remembered? Hello?
No, I'm here, Liz.
So yeah, so after that, I mean, we did try to maintain a friendship or communication, but then after a while, I think he got into his feelings and stopped communicating.
Really?
So we kind of lost touch for a while. But even with that, I never forgot him, so to speak. I always thought about him. I always had good thoughts and hoped he was doing well.
Mm-hmm.
We have another friend, Heather Lynch. I think when he moved to Miami, they were in touch, and I would always ask her, have you seen him? Have you talked to him? Is he doing okay? Tell him I said hi. That kind of situation.
And if I may intersect a little, because
Go ahead, Tony.
no, I was gonna say I visited Dwight. Dwight, not even know if you remember this still. You guys hear echo or you can hear me clearly?
I hear you. No,
go ahead, Tony. Yeah.
Stop now.
Yeah, man. So Dwight, not even know if you remember this, but I went down to Miami to visit my kids. Me and my kids star. And when we did wait, a brethren drive up in a brown S5 Toyota Corolla and the handbrake stop and spinning in the middle of the road, and I said, how old are you there? When we look, who come with a big time driver them time.
Oh my God.
Hey, you have a memory like an elephant to the Tony.
I'm gonna tell you, man.
Trust.
Yes, that is very true. That is very true. Yeah, it was. Let's put it this way. I'm not gonna say that where me and her are now. That's how I felt back then. But you know, when you just have a feeling for somebody, and
Going away.
it never. Let's put it this way, and I'm gonna put my business out there. The first year when I went back home after I migrated in '84, went back home in '85, met up with her, and she gave me a picture. And I have the picture to this day in my living room right now.
There was enough things behind that picture there now.
I'm telling you, right? That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah. So, yeah.
And we are definitely not brothers and sisters.
Okay. So, for the record, then, how long after you leave school in 1985, then you actually decide to stop playing a game with one another? I say, you know what? We're tired of this game thing here, you know.
2010. We actually got back together. And, she found me in 2009. Right. So my little brother, I was living here in Monroe. We had a barbecue, right? I had a cookout at my house, and he had a friend by the name of Cheryl Liebert. I'm not a Meadowbrook student that came to the cookout. Right. She took pictures, posted it on Facebook. I didn't know nothing about Facebook at the time. When she posted it, apparently Lizander saw it, contacted her, and told her to give me her number. So she gave me Lizander's number, and I called her, and here we are.
The rest of history.
So Lizander, you like the man long time, and yes, when I play games from a distance, or the Bette Midler sang from a distance, I mean I say, what in 2009 make it a society, you know what? Enough, you know.
So, Jenny, a lot of life happened in between that time, okay?
Okay.
A lot of life happened. He was married, I was married. His circumstances changed, mine changed. So when I saw the picture, and Cheryl and I were friends, and I did that, and he called, I'm gonna be as honest as I know how. I was just calling because, like I said, and honestly, I've always known that Dwight had a crush on me. Always known that.
That's taken me along for years.
No, I did not. But again, like I said, I've always known him to be a really good person. So based on that, I was okay to explore if it would go anywhere. Because I mean, that alone is there's not many people that you can say out there that has a good heart, and I really do think he does. So that was enough for me to want to explore.
Yeah, and life can I make you face the reality the quick too, you know.
Right.
Yeah.
And then like after, like I said, after things changed with both our situations, I figured I don't want to start with someone that I know nothing about. And I know this person. I know I can trust this person. I know his heart. So why else would I want to start anywhere else?
Well, from the mere fucking come back to Jamaica in the 1980s and decide to go.
Oh my God.
Him no one need to do nothing more at all, Tony, right?
All right. May I tell you that one that sound like Dear Pastor or Miss Dr. Phil, but
Listen, you see,
remember that if you happen to see these two individuals together, you will absolutely say that they have an awesome relationship, which come for years, and they're fortunate to rekindle with each other. So, boy, enough blessing, enough respect. You know. Go ahead, Dr. Phil.
Amen.
Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, sir. Thank you, ma'am.
Yeah. No, we get that mystery part out of the way. We can start out with some Meadowbrook members, I know. But
Right. I'm sure you are run from that, so let's go.
So hold on, the two of them name the same name. I'm gonna ask, you can go with this first, Liz. On the check and see if they're related while in their school, or them DNA thing that exist long. Unrelated.
So Jelly, that honestly was maybe my biggest reservations in all honesty.
Mm-hmm.
So the even more interesting part is my mom knew his dad.
They worked together.
Yes.
Oh
Mhm.
boy.
Worked at the same place together for years.
Mhm.
So you're my-
I remember that because Dwight, I apologize now. I didn't realize that I was causing a problem, but I used to tease her a lot about that.
Oh,
I used to tell her that I am convinced.
that we're related.
really?
Yes.
That's because my father and grandmother work together?
And yes, and the two end up with the same last name. Couldn't tell me nothing.
Hey, Margaret, you're a part of my problem?
I didn't mean to be.
I want to do the DNA test.
Yeah,
Wanna do
that's
the
funny.
DNA?
The name was bad enough, but when I realized that both of them worked at the same place, I was like,
So you knew that Margaret?
Yeah,
you
man,
guys
them I know them, I know her a long time,
If you never do the DNA test, don't do it too far gone now. Make it go.
Yeah, that makes sense, Tony. Nobody go to sort out. Nobody spoil the fun and know at all. Nobody sign up for 23 and me or wherever the website name. No, none of that.
Don't do it. Make it go on.
Oh, God.
Well, listen, I did mine, and none of his family or relatives popped up, so I think we're safe.
Okay.
All right, so Dwight, you have any take on that in terms of say, well, did you at school did you ever think about that and say, boy, I should have the same last name like me, you know? I'm like that ever crossed your mind, and this is long before DNA, you know. Why did they at school and afterwards?
It never crossed my mind, for one. My father put it in my mind because he is the one that literally basically tell me no. Because that was one of the reasons, to be honest, because now that we're talking and I'm remembering it, is one of the reasons why we had lost contact for a while. Because when I went back to Jamaica and I came back with a picture and I was talking to him, and her mom was referred to as Miss Mac, right? And my father was like, "That's Miss Mack's daughter," and I'm like, "Yeah." It was like, "Nobody would have there, you know."
And they had the same exact complexion, Jelly.
No, I remember that.
I don't know if don't bother with that one meant she's trouble like our mother. Because our mother was a terror at work for mommy here because nobody never messed with her. But she was
But you took it. Okay.
People just never messed with her.
Mother let daughter.
So there you go. So maybe him saying don't mess with her was based off of that. But again, like we say, we did our research, and yeah, there is no blood in the water.
Listen, let me throw this out there. I trust my mom. Okay, my mom was like the best. So yes, had the conversations. I don't care what his dad say. Nothing happened with my mother. He don't know my mother that way.
Let's put it this way. I got her blessings before she passed.
So he needs to
So as long as our mother gave me her blessings, I'm good. I don't care.
Anyway, 23 and me is good. Let's move on.
Let's back up. Move on. More ask Dwight about this Courtney Sturgick.
Yeah. You talk about that, Dwight. Go into that because you did talk about Courtney Sturgick, so I'm recruit you.
All right.
Yeah.
So my first farm when I hit Meadowbrook, the first 100-meter race I ever ran was up against Howard Jarrett. I heard Howard Jarrett was supposed to be the man in the 100-meter at the time.
Mm-hmm.
Didn't know him. Didn't know nothing about him. But when I ran, he literally beat me by a nose.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, wow.
Courtney, after the race, came to me and said, "Hey, what house you in?" I said, "I don't know. They haven't put me." And say you're coming into Sanders' house.
So it go.
That me I said to him, I know that clear already.
So you could go.
So with that said, from that point, he would talk to me and, basically Yeah, Courtney. I have much respect for Courtney. Yeah. I even Sharon. I think Sharon was his girlfriend at the
Yeah,
time.
Sharon Robinson.
Yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Sharon Robinson. Yeah, she was good people too. Because I had a couple of conversations with her also, but they tell me just keep my head up, keep doing what I'm doing, and if I'm serious about the whole sport thing, just put my head into it. And that's why for the first few years, under Mr. Here, because I gotta give him props. They trust me running up that darn hill, going up that hill every day. At the bottom of the old man, that man did that hill on a regular basis. And that was when there was nothing up there. So I was running up the hill wondering what the hell was going to come out the woods on that time.
Mm-hmm.
But he he did everything he could for me, pushing me to my limit to get everything that he could get out of me. And I saw the results because it worked, and it was working. In the evenings after school, for the few years when I was what I did, and I hate to say it, but I would, and I could only do it so much because my father worked for jails. So I would make him seem like it was a bus issue why I got home late. Right. And you were able to stay to that's the reason why I stayed to practice, but I could only do that for so long before that became old.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Because honestly, the whole Christopher Jones thing, like Tony was saying earlier, he beat me one time, and it was the very last year of school in fifth form, and the 100 meter. The 200 meter, I don't even think I'd finished the race because it was my hip or my knee something. They gave him so I didn't finish that race, so he actually won that race too. But I pretty much lost my whole feeling for sports finishing fourth form going into fifth form, because that's when Mr. Here was trying to get me into the weight room to start training and all of that. And that was something that was going to take a lot of time after school. And I wasn't able to do that.
Mm-hmm. I can't hear I didn't agree. I can't hear because the fact that you knows out or knows you out. I told him right about that. You're an elite athlete, Dwight. And it's a pity.
I appreciate it.
You were.
It has always been my passion. It was, I mean, I'm not bragging on me, but no, I'm good, babe. Even through in the neighborhood where I lived, we did stuff like that on the street. Of course, barefooted running on the street, and literally nobody that
beat up everybody. Yeah. Same thing. Yeah. Well, me couldn't run, so I couldn't beat nobody. But yeah.
So translating that into school with spikes on, where I could get some traction in the dirt and all of that, it made that extra thing. And I'd always wanted to make it to champs.
I just going to ask about that. If you never get a chance to go champs.
No, I never got a chance. The year when that's the year when Mr. Here was trying to get me into the weight room to go to champs. Yeah, that's the year when everything fell apart.
No, Mr. Here saw the talent in him, and the time that push a certain way. Him did see it. And I tell you, Tony right about that. Minda said Tony, I said, the fact that you are run against certain. And I remember, not to come back and listen to So sports say that dominate a certain way, and it's like, it's a pity, but I saw the life role. I saw the life.
So, yeah, unfortunately,
Can I jar on a memory about a Courtney Strodrick event? I love to see if you remember. So 79 sports day, right? 100 meters, class 1. Courtney Strodrick, I think, was in his first year class 1. He was in lower 6. And in my opinion, this was one of the most spectacular 100 meters ever run. As a little first farmer, you at the finish line, me there, because me want to see it. And Courtney, I don't remember who was leading, but I can tell you in the last 10 meters, Courtney Strodrick had the lead. and there was a flamboyant athlete named Ivan Hart for the first time.
I remember that.
Ivan Hart in a full red, you know. I have a vivid
I
memory.
remember that.
Full red, you know. Red vest, red shorts, red sun visor, and he had braid with red beads. Can you picture that?
Yes, I remember that.
Right?
I remember that, Tony.
And I remember when we finish, my love, forget to comment on it. So Courtney Sturridge can lead the race, you know, and out of nowhere came a high bouncing Ivan Hart, you know.
Yep.
I run down everybody, you know. And that was his first year in class 1, you know. And out of the blue, a bird named Glenn Brown coming out. And the 3 of them got down on the line the same time and bow. And no man that day could have tell who win the race there.
It's very true.
Give me your perspective on that. I don't know if you remember that, Jelly, as well.
No, I don't remember that, Tony. I remember, you know, track and field.
Was not his thing. It was not his forte.
It was not his thing.
No.
Due respect, right?
But that's sports day, but guess what? But yes.
That was the first time that anybody ever ran down to the line with Courtney.
Yeah, man.
That I can remember. And I remember that specifically because I was like, wow. So through all the years, he was pretty much unbeaten. And here it is, last year at school, and the competition actually reached.
2 months step up on him,
Yeah.
And if you had been there the seat, you know, but when I said no man couldn't tell who won that race, you know, because it was a photo finish.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
I think word had it that Glenn Brown did from a photo, but I'm gonna say something to you know that Jelly, you'll know this guy. There was a guy named before that name. Is it Dave Hall? That was a strong.
Yeah, used to be a basketball. Yeah.
Yeah. So one slight correction. I think 78. Dave had beat Courtney in the 100 meters, barely had him out. But anyhow, the point more makes that Courtney was a professional athlete for him time.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
It was a youth where we all as first farmer look up to with high regard. And he was also coach mentor because he would grab man like Paul Chalmers and Dwight and Hugh Lindsay and start mentor them.
True.
And even from a sixth form point of view, I would see him interacting with the teachers. I mean, I look at you just a look one big man them time there. I'd see him interact with teachers in a way that was respectful and was just a leader in the sports realm, you know? I'm just one big that and respect him.
That's true. Always well dressed, always carry himself. Proper.
I was just going to say that, Dwight. Him carry himself a certain, him always just really,
Yeah, man. Always neat.
Suede shoes, white socks, white rag, parka sleeve roll.
With a sleeve then roll up.
Time there.
Yeah. So Lizander, let me ask you a question then now, because let me ask you this. You come Meadowbrook now, sports ever mean no big thing to you in terms of say you're not following sports. You come from a community where it's a sports community. Arnett Garden, them play National League, big time sports. They produce a whole big time baller. Did sports mean anything when you come to Meadowbrook?
Honestly, not really. The only sports I felt like I had any real interest in was actually when we had a hockey team. Do you guys remember that?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, man. Yeah.
And I went and played, tried out, actually got on the team, but after playing a game or two and got getting hit, and I know me, at that point I guess I could do with a little bit of ankle management.
You think?
Wait, don't tell me your course.
So after getting hit with it and wanting to take out someone, I was like, this is not the game for me.
Yeah.
So I actually really enjoyed, because I remember some of the sports day events that Dwight was talking about and some of his races, because I think a couple of them we were at sports day watching and cheering on, but I enjoyed it from a spectator perspective more than a participant.
Because Tony, you remember Dirt Duo?
Yeah, man.
But Dirk was one of the most versatile all-around basketball players.
Okay, because me and him, and as little as Dirt Duo was, listen, me and Dirt Duo was really, really good friends. But I could never understand how this little short person could jump. He had a hell of a long jump, and I could never beat him.
A spring.
Yes, man. When he run up to that thing and launch himself, he could do something that I could never do. You know how when you in the air, you're supposed to use your foot like you're pedaling a bicycle to carry yourself? He was very good at that. I could never do that.
Dirk was one of those natural athletes that just anything him doing, play ball and play money, play sunlight, run track. And actually him did the high jump and long jump.
Yes, he did. The high jump and long jump, absolutely.
Yeah. But may I ask you a similar question may I ask Lizander Dwight, because you come on Meadowbrook from Dwight Park, and Dwight Park is a sporting community too.
Yeah.
But Meadowbrook never have a sporting reputation. And you have come, did you follow when Meadowbrook actually start win competition in the 1980s, the year before you leave Meadowbrook, we won something in 1982. Did that make a difference in terms of how you look on Meadowbrook or how your parents look on Meadowbrook, or it never really matter at all?
It didn't matter to my parents, but that's the reason why I wanted to go further to see if I could leave my mark. But again, never got the opportunity to. You know, I definitely saw where the potential was there if if the chance was given to me, the opportunity was. But and again, much respect to Mr. Here. Mr. Near, because, you know, like I said, he had his input, but Mr. Here was the driving force behind me trying to do something with what he saw that I could. But again, just never got the opportunity to fulfill the dream.
I think it's safe to say that if it's one thing that he could do differently, I think that's what he would.
Yeah.
Because I know that he thoroughly enjoyed it and was good at it. So I feel like if there's one thing that he could change, that would be it.
Yeah, I hear that in advice, Dwight. I hear that in advice. So when you talk about it and you hear the disappointment advice, it's like, you know, I get to express yourself a certain, and you were really good. That's the one right to say. And yeah, you were. And Mr. Ayer was an So what impression you get on Mr. Ayer the first time you meet him?
I was very impressed with him because when, like I said, I had him in PE at first, and you know, it was the structure that he had and the way he spoke to you, because he didn't talk at you, he talked to you. And that's what I respect about him, because, you know, he would speak to the group, but he also did individual touch with you to try to see where you wanted to go, where you were and all that. Well, that was my experience with him. I can't speak for everybody else, but that was what I got out of him. And it went throughout entire first to fifth form.
Yeah.
And so that my memory of Mr. Here was nothing but good. I'm not gonna say there are not other teachers there that didn't help me along, but they're teaching me, but Mr. Here was more of a mentor teacher.
I'm listening to y'all, and y'all have all these great memories. You know what I'm remembering? You there talking about this?
What?
I'm remembering being in my. Do you guys remember Mr. Hosang?
Oh yeah, I remember.
Come on.
I remember that.
Remember being in.
Jelly's a good friend with Mr. Hassan.
Oh no.
Oh, Jelly?
Yeah, man, I have some stories with Mr. Hassan. Those are from behind the paid wall, but go ahead.
Listen to me, man. My last experience in that classroom, my last memory, I remember we were in class.
Ooh.
And Maxine, were we in the same art class? Because I don't remember if you were there. Max?
You shall come. She knew it. Yeah, go ahead.
Were we in the same art class with Mr. Hosang? Do you remember?
Yes, I was.
Do you remember, or were you there one day when we were in class, and as usual, we were kind of rambunctious, right? And wouldn't listen. And I remember at the end of the class, he wouldn't let us leave until I guess we cleaned up, and I was ready to be out. And he came, he came over to me, stood in front of the desk, and wouldn't let us by. And I all but threw the desk at him. I walked out.
Anger management.
I think that is how your reputation came about has been somebody not to be messed with.
Mm-hmm. There you go. There you go, Margaret. So let's see what they share with the devil.
Yeah, what you're on now with Miss Osang now. Lizzie in a great company. That's all I can tell you. That's all I'm going to say about that, because Miss Osang's reputation with students in the school was not
Crazy.
Yes.
Hey,
Lauren,
Right.
you know that he taught Malik?
Oh wow.
And when I said that to Malik the other day, because I sent
And Malik is who, Margaret?
my nephew that went to Meadowbrook a few years ago.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Then what's the school teaching? Yeah.
He
Oh,
was
wow.
still teaching, and Malik was like, simple, calm, Mr. Hassan, what are you talking about? I said, okay, Malik, let's leave it.
A different person completely. Yeah.
Let's calm down.
Yeah.
So look, I say this in case Mr. Hassan I listen to this. You see me? Mr. Hassan at the time, age difference wasn't that far off from a lot of us, right? So the age was close.
Yeah.
But I will go on the record to say, and yes, Mr. Osang did have some challenge. You know, he had a forceful way of enforcing, and students reacted to it.
Uh-huh.
But Mr. Osang was one of the coolest teachers to me. Mr. Osang and I had a respectful relationship. Jelly with me, I go sunlight match, and Osang picked me up in him car, and we got together. And so I had an irie relationship with Mr. Osang, and for me, I did not have that confrontation, but enough boy and girl had that. So I will acknowledge that. But I just want to make sure a man will hear that Mr. Osang.
Yeah, well, I just say we could have a whole podcast to talk about female things. We can't tell you that because
Hey, Jelly,
yeah.
do you notice that almost every podcast he's mentioned
Yes.
by people who have listened and people who never listen to podcast?
Hold on.
Yeah.
He's always
Yes,
mentioned.
Mr. Osang alone.
Listen,
And Tony Moore always shared that.
One out of the film. Listen, Margaret and Liz. One night I talking to a girl, you know, and she said, "Come on the podcast, man." She said, "She know the story." And then she tell me what I said, Mr. Osang. It's about how much that talk I explained to me. And then I asked if the story with her body, and I just leaving it at that. You hear me? And not
Wow.
because what happened, you know, Mr. Osang, you know, when Mr. Osang, him daughter and my son, up in a Meadowbrook prep together, you know, same classroom. Years ago, my son at 30, you know, so years ago, I talk about when him just start Meadowbrook prep. So yeah. So and then his wife is a nice lady. Let me just clear that, right? And
Uh-huh.
so I just leave it right there. So and me and him never have no issue with that at all because me and him never have issue outside of school. But
okay.
yeah.
Okay.
Me not going to Saudi. Me not going. It's about Meadowbrook memories.
Left alone. Mr. Osang teach enough students and influence enough students.
Yeah, man. So all right, Liz. We can move on from that because the fun you make. Any fun memories you have in the classroom or the field trip are just at Meadowbrook. Tell me some of the fun memories you have. Some of the stories I remember at Meadowbrook. Bottom field trip. Anything you remember?
I'm gonna give you a chance to remember. While I go on record to say Miss McLennan and me had only had one confrontation in Meadowbrook High School for her spell and my spell was when she cornered me right to the water cooler, going around to the first one block, right next to the water cooler, come up to me with her little thing in her hand talking about, "Excuse me, young man, why is it every time I see you, you're always in our corner with some girl?" Like, I'm not doing nothing. They're just friends. Can't I talk to girls? So I said this to say that, huh? I think so.
Oh wow!
Right.
I do remember that,
No one
babes.
told me in the office to have a conversation with me
Yes,
being in corner with girls.
yes,
And I'm like, I'm just talking.
that happened. Oh wow!
This is that wasn't true. But I never ever had any issues with her. But she just never liked seeing me around the girls.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Anyway, go ahead. That give you a chance.
Honestly, most of my memories is not so much with being at Meadowbrook. It's regarding the friendships that I've formed from being at Meadowbrook.
Okay.
You know, I've like you guys said earlier, I feel like I've walked away with really good, strong friendships. Experiences wise at school, not so much because I feel like I didn't hang around long enough.
Mm-hmm.
I would be in my class, did my thing, and then I was out.
Yeah, but why I think that happened though, Liz, in terms of you develop a friendship after school, and it was cultivated while you're at school, even though you say come and you go home.
But that's what I'm saying. I feel like I had a handful of people that was my circle, and I didn't deviate from that. Yes, I'd say hi, to others, how are you, whatever. But I don't feel like I probably took the time that I could have to maybe get to know others.
Mm-hmm.
I really didn't, but that's me. I guess it's a personality trait, defect, whatever you want to call it. But what I feel like once I found my what's the word I'm looking for? Once I found my family, I was okay. And I enjoyed being on, at school, lunchtime, we would have lunch together. We go to the canteen, we hang out after school. We would hang out. Sometimes we would like save a little lunch money. And you remember the KFC up in a Havendale at the day? Topside School?
Yeah, man, but Mannington Road, yes.
Manor Park.
Not
Right.
Manor Park, Margaret.
Oh, not Manor Park.
There's a KFC at the top of Avondale Drive on Mannington Road,
Yeah.
right? That's all. Yeah, man.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Go save a lunch money. I want to go up there, have lunch, chill, talk, hang out, that kind of stuff. But not so much like experiences at school, if you will.
Mm-hmm. I hear you.
Individuals, if that makes sense. I mean, I remember we were close with Roxanne Newland. Remember Roxanne Max?
Yeah, man.
I even had a good relationship with Maxine Monroe, whether you believe it or not.
Yes, I want to call on him earlier. Can that story be told?
Huh?
Can that story be repeated? Because somebody said, we're going to compare somebody with Maxine Monroe, and you just call her name again.
Oh, but I thought we had a really good, we talked about stuff, and I've never had a bad experience, so to speak, with her.
People just knew.
I mean, she had a strong personality, but I feel like so did I. So, I mean,
Was a good athlete as well.
she was right.
Netball, track star. I think she's the best. Beautiful.
Netball as well.
Yeah.
She did play netball, yes. Because sometimes we would stop after school, we would watch them play, practice. And yeah, I mean, I had experiences from that perspective, if you will.
All right, Dwight, so the same question to you. Any fun memories you remember at school, in a training classroom, field trip? A couple of fun stories you remember while you're there at Meadowbrook?
Fun stories for me at Meadowbrook. And it's gonna be weird. Because my kind of fun was kind of different. Was hiding out from the principal. Mr. Top, him was one, because hiding from him was a treat because you could easily hide from him because I'm tall. I always said the dog before we say him.
Yeah.
Interacting with some of the people from school. Like even when we hung out after school and then got on the school bus heading home. I don't know if anybody will remember. There's a young lady that she went to Meadowbrook, but she didn't stay there for very long. Carrot Panton.
Yes, I remember her.
I remember the name.
Yeah, me and her were really good friends because she lived over in Independence. And sometimes, on the way, we would ride the bus to either halfway through or crossroads. And then I would catch my bus going one way, she would catch her bus going another way. Right. And Maxine was pretty cool. Like I said, for me at school, my memories, which I consider to be good memories, there was just interacting with people because most of my friends were girls. Right? I didn't really hang around with the guys per se. And I guess that's what Miss McLennan misread. I think I was some kind of playboy.
Lothario.
Me and Maxine Monroe were good friends. And Marcia Robinson were good friends. Naomi Chu.
Yeah, I was just gonna say her.
Tracy Mirage. There was, if you want to call it a part of the fun, my crush teachers now was, oh my God. In first form, there was a Spanish teacher. What was her name? Do you remember her name?
No, the Spanish teacher remembers Nelson. It was a younger one.
Yeah.
It was a young teacher.
Right. Her and and I can't remember the name, but there was an Indian lady that teach. She wore glasses. Was it biology she teach?
Yes,
She was Indian?
Yes.
I think so. Yeah, very nice. She was always nice to me. Fun for me at school was sports. That's where all of my fun went because that was my thing. I enjoyed sports to no end. And then things that I could do that entailed sports, I was in it. All right. So,
Hey,
yeah.
Could you talk a little bit about if you remember your second farm football team that won into farm? You remember that team?
Yeah. I think that was with me, Clive Edwards. I think Dirk Dewar was on it.
No, Dirk was a farm ahead of you.
No, me and Dirk was in the same form.
Yeah, when you third farm, because Dirk was in third farm when you were in second farm.
Me and Dirk went to high school together. We actually even had classes together.
No, but he's saying it started in third form.
I think Dirk may repeated a farm, Dirk may repeated a farm earlier, Tony, yeah.
Dirk was in third farm,
So did he repeat a grade?
Yeah, he did repeat a grade. He did repeat a grade. Dwight.
Oh, yeah. Okay. So that's how me and him ended up in class.
Yeah.
But
all right.
Don't jar your memory. Peter Lynch was on that team. Charlie Bob was on that team.
Charlie Bob, yes.
Norman Nar was on that team.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. You're right.
Clark has been the goalkeeper.
You're right. Tony, you're right. You're absolutely right.
That was a winning team.
Who was the goalkeeper, Tony?
Ralston Clark, I believe.
Yes,
yeah, Raleigh. I was just talking about him the other day.
Yeah. I spoke to him. I've spoken to Raleigh a couple of times,
So by that time, you now keep goal no more, Dwight. You stop keep goal.
Well, my goalkeeping was a mixture, intermingled through all of that. Because in third form, I think, because I remember going to, what was it? Well, we went to go play Calabar in the rain. I'll never forget that. And, but yeah, I intermingled because as much as I played football, and sometimes I'll play either defense or I'd keep goal, depending on where Mr. Here wanted me to play at the time.
Mm-hmm.
So it was always based on what he needed me to do at that moment.
You're flexible to play any position.
Yeah, it was either center half. Sometimes I'd be left wing, right wing, goalkeeper. he could literally use me anywhere around the place.
Play anywhere. You play
He-
anywhere.
You're
And
right.
don't forget Courtney Johnson. Courtney Johnson was on that team.
Robert Johnson.
No,
Yeah,
Courtney?
you're absolutely right. I've completely forgotten that. Absolutely right.
All-star team that was, man.
Yes. Because Charlie Bop and Naman were pretty good forwards.
Football.
With Nari on the wing.
Yes. You're so right.
So, but you're a supreme athlete, but can't stop say that, Dwight. I mean, when you talk about the amount of position you could have played in all of them, you were.
I appreciate it. I'm not gonna lie. I sometimes, and I hate to say it, I sometimes try to block the memories out because I just felt like I didn't get, because of the regrets, not being able to do what I wanted to do. So I try to just put it in our vault and just forget about it. But it's
Part of you.
talking about it now, and even Tony bringing back certain memories. I had a lot of fun in Meadowbrook. Meadowbrook did a lot for me as far as my morale, meeting people, because there's a lot of people that knew me that I didn't know. Because they'd be calling my name and I'm like, hey, don't know them, but hey. And I know it was because of sports.
Yeah. I'm there thinking of Tony and Lizander is that if Dwight ever allow to express himself,
Yeah.
you would have eyes on him so much, you'd have grab on him long time, you would have dashed away a long time. Right, Tony? If Dwight ever express himself and become the supreme athlete where no him have the potential for, imagine Dwight are in a champ now. Lizander now make him go away now.
That's where you went.
What's on the line me I tell? We know them things are going on.
Oh, good.
It is funny. That is funny.
So listen, you have any comment on that? Are you going to plead the fifth?
No. Margaret laughing because Margaret know where I want to go with the story, but I'm holding back. Margaret laughing.
That's why I do. Hold on, I'll do I there low and I say, I'm vexed. I'm not vexed about it now. I must say, look how long could I get tired? A long time if you just love me running around.
Right, Margaret?
Oh my goodness.
No comment.
I don't have any comments.
Listen, I'm not gonna lie. I've met some really, really nice people from Meadowbrook, because I'm not gonna lie. Tony, I have nothing but the utmost respect for Tony. I've met up with Tony. You know, Tony has done for me without even asking her, I just pick up the phone, hey T, done.
And
Got you.
Thoroughly appreciated that.
Trust me. So, visiting with him for the few hours was pretty cool.
It's amazing little baby girl.
Yeah. And watching his career
Yes.
and the things that he has done and accomplished out of not but the utmost respect, and that is somebody that is coming from Meadowbrook, the school that I went to. So to see the progression in his life and where it has landed him, utmost respect, Tony. Utmost respect, right? There are other people. Yeah, there's other people out there that I'm sure I can send that kind of feelings out to, but for reason been known to me, they decided to cut themselves off. So it is what it is, right? So, but yeah, Meadowbrook did what it did. It formed me to make me into the person that I am today. It is a part of who I am. I'll never forget that, or put that. I will never tell anybody that Meadowbrook hasn't done anything for me.
By the way, did I ever know Saffron?
Yes.
Okay.
Saffron ran good.
All of us.
Huh?
Yes, we all did.
Yeah, man. Saffron was anybody that didn't know Saffron didn't want to know Saffron.
Well, full disclosure before I comment on Saffron. Saffron was my sister-in-law up until the time she died. Because Saffron married...
Oh, wow.
Saffron's sister, older sister married to my brother.
I
Camille?
did not know that.
Not Camille, Alison. She
Oh,
was...
Alison. Oh,
Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know that.
Yeah, man.
Okay.
That's why I tell you, full disclosure, yeah, Saffron.
No, man. Listen, I don't think there's anyone that went to Meadowbrook that would have one negative thing to say about
Saffron was good people, man.
Because you see her and you have to smile because she's greeting you with one.
Yes. Non-stop.
Mm-hmm.
Laurie, remember when we had the introductions when she said my hobbies are eating and sleeping and started to laugh?
I yes, and I heard it on the class, and I'm like, oh my God, y'all have memories like elephants for real. Because when you said it, I saw her standing up in the classroom and actually saying that.
So
I remembered it.
So hold on, tell me about the radar correction what Saffron used to have.
The what?
Rod of correction. Saffron never have something that she call her. Like she walk on a rod and says the rod of correction.
I remember that vaguely.
I remember the same, but I don't remember if she had something physically that she walked with.
Okay.
I feel like more than anything else, I would think that would have been her energy, her personality.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. Understood. Yeah. No, Saffron was the real deal. I can't say that. I can't say.
And she made everybody feel like they're connected with her, you know?
Yeah, man. Without a doubt.
Everybody feels special.
Yeah.
Man.
She was definitely cool people.
Yeah. So all right, Liz. Yeah, go ahead.
I remember the mango tree too, and I remember. I think it was. I don't remember if Maxine was there, but I remember going down to our house one time. Actually, I know I was there. I think Heather was there. I don't remember if Margaret were there. Were you there, Max? And we went down there, and I think we were going down to Bottomfield actually, and we stopped and had something to eat mango, and then headed down there.
Yeah, we can't forget the mango tree, that man. You're right. And our grandmother, we cannot. No.
Yeah.
So
No, I have good memories of her actually. I do. That's pretty cool.
So Lizander, what the most embarrassing moment you can look back on a Meadowbrook with a smile?
Embarrassing moments. Besides Dwight following me around.
Wait, what?
Let me see.
Whoa. Wait. Margaret cleaned that up. Margaret, you know that didn't happen.
So, no, on a serious note, I
missed.
Not necessarily embarrassing. So there was a couple, like one with you, yes, where, yeah, I feel like you were every time I turn around, you were there. It's you. Every time I turn around, Dwight was in my space, my zone. And yeah, because I didn't really feel the attraction.
Yeah, hide it. You were otherwise occupied. So yeah, say when I come in nice face. Yeah.
I felt like that was like, dude.
Man was just protecting his interest for his future interest.
Seriously.
I'm serious. I'm so serious. I think I told you this. Don't give me that face. So and then there was another incident that it was a little challenging. Not. I think it was more so embarrassing that it actually happened. For me, was a situation that happened with another friend of mine in the I should say a friend of ours in the canteen with one of the older guys, I think, that he put his hands on her, and we had to go sort it out.
You had to go beat us?
I'm saying we had to go sort it out. That was, like I said, more so challenging because I'm like, dude, I can't believe that this really happened. Like, yes, I
I
want to
think
be.
I was there for that incident.
Yes.
Let me ask you this: did a certain brother have to get involved with that
Yes.
individual?
Yes. Yes.
My brethren that get beat down in there, so no steer.
Yes.
Come on, I don't remember that.
That I feel like, Tony, that, like I said, I couldn't believe that it happened. So that was challenging for me.
Yeah,
But
I was there.
Outside of that, I mean, not anything else, any regrets or embarrassing.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right, Dwight, you, same question. What the most embarrassing moment you remember at Meadowbrook? You can look back on with a smile.
Most embarrassing moment that I can look back with a smile. Losing that race to Christopher Jones.
And that was a sports day.
To be clear, Christopher had gotten to a point of total dominance. He used to train with Leroy Reed. Remember Leroy Reed used to run for Jamaica?
Yeah.
For Camper Down.
Yeah, man. And Chris had gotten to a point that, one of the first heat me say are running and turn around with 20 meters left and I call everybody, and Dwight, by the way, if you look in the yearbook, there's a picture of that race.
Okay.
There's a picture of that race with you running, sir, and Christopher Jones in front. So.
Oh no.
Yeah, I don't have that yearbook. So
I have it, Dwight. Tony, one of them I have. I'm going to send it to you, Dwight, afterwards. Yeah.
You have that picture?
I have the yearbook. I looking through it now. The 81 yearbook.
Wow.
I'm going to send it to both. I will send it to you later after we're done. So, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Cool.
I have it on my phone. Yeah. Yeah. I will send it to you. Yeah. Yeah, man. Dwight, not so like you more remember the race of the Tony, but yeah.
That's why I'm listening.
Yeah, that's my embarrassing moment.
It should be a captain. Say, see for the train, boy.
Yeah, that is. I have the 2 yearbook. I was sending both of them, Tony. Yeah.
Oh my goodness.
I have 81 and 83 yearbook. Yeah.
Yeah, when I make nothing to my yearbook in a virgin.
No, man, I have them right there in my underground bunker. No worry. All right, so Liz, your best learning experience you get from Meadowbrook?
My best learning experience. I think Meadowbrook taught me to be more open. To let people in, if you will. Because I was that person where, all right, I'm at school, we do our thing at school, but if we're not friends at school, don't see me on the street and talk to me.
Mm-hmm.
We're not friends. And I feel like over time, I realized that you can't be that closed off, or else you're going to end up being on an island by yourself for the most part.
Mm-hmm.
Which for most of my life, I was okay with it. And that sounds maybe a bit harsh, but I really was. But over time, I realized that it's not the best way to be. So I think that is probably what I took away, because I feel like I probably went there with preconceived notions that were not dispelled based on some of the experiences that I had and some of the things that I saw that happen.
Mm-hmm.
They were not dispelled, but over time, you realize that that's not necessarily the way to be.
Yeah, and maybe that look for it, so you see it. But because I come
Right.
with that trip, you say you expect a certain behavior and you go see it.
And I didn't see it, yeah.
I saw life going on. You go down and look for it, you go see it. You're going to see
Absolutely.
it.
Absolutely. So I think I realized that.
And that take a whole heap of strength from you, Liz, for the society. Say, if it not serving no more, just change your mind and say that never serve you.
Different.
Yeah.
And Maxine, no, like I said, we've known each other forever, and I think she would also say that would you say I've grown a lot since then, Max?
Of course. You have.
But yeah, I mean, huh?
With regard, so I knew you when you used to walk with a massive of girls. It was the clique, right?
But that's just
one of whom I had an interest in, and Margaret knew that quite well. But why don't you name out your little girl that passed away? I was walking.
Just it. I don't remember walking with a clique. I know. I remember.
Margaret named the clique. It was a small.
I only remember 3 people.
Yeah, but I remember. I don't recall me having a clique.
I mean,
Your clique was Margaret.
Yeah. That was it. I know Roxanne would be around us sometimes. Who else, Max? I mean, honestly, I don't remember us having a clique.
It was Margaret, Heather Lynch, Liz, and who else?
Nobody else.
That's it.
The Trelawney.
Yeah, man, it was the Trelawney.
Yeah. It really was just always the 3 of us.
It's just our personalities were so huge that
Jesus.
Other people kind of gravitated, right?
No, man, them just think a whole heap of people, but I just stray away.
By the way, our friends till this day, huh?
And we're still friends, yes.
So cool.
Yeah, but hold on. Let me ask something though, because me hear the name will come up. Tell me how that name they go now, because I'm not calling her Margaret and Maxine. Tell me how that girl is.
Her Maxine?
Yeah, how she get that name there?
Because it's her name.
Yeah, name?
So it's
it's a family name.
It's what we call name.
Oh, I got you.
Right. So that's what she's known as at home. And like I said, we got to know each other outside of school. We got to know each other's family, so it kind of got we kind
familiarity with the family.
Yeah, I got you. Understood. Yeah. Interchange easily with it. I understand what I mean.
Yeah. I'm more inclined to say Maxine, and I'll try when I'm around others that knows her as Margaret. I'll try to say Margaret, but yeah, I'll default easier to Maxine.
No, I know what I mean, because that's why I use all 4 of my name when I introduce myself, because at Meadowbrook I was known as Prince or Gliss or Jelly. Very few people know me as Lance. Everybody at Permacal when I grew up know me as Lance.
Okay.
Because if the other day a girl that got Meadowbrook, our husband, I listened to the podcast, and I said, listen, this is a Glister here. And I must say, who that? And I said, Lance that. So I know what you're talking about. Me.
Yes.
I know exactly what you're talking about.
That's all it is.
Jelly.
Yeah.
I think I know the answer for this, but the nickname Jelly come on.
The first one I asked is enough. That's so much podcast, and the first one I asked.
Because of the fluid-like movement, but the name Jelly come around.
Jelly to come out now. When they used to run, or I try run, all they say is, my belly, a gel.
Oh, Jesus.
Can I care what kind of shirt?
You know something, can't believe.
They never wonder what the name come out, Margaret. Say, yeah, that's the name.
And every time I come on, I mean to ask, and it slipped me.
My goodness.
No, but when I come around, I have Permacal or a Meadowbrook.
I was just drawing a conclusion that him used to eat a whole of coconut jelly. But obviously I was very far from it.
No, very far, Dwight. Very far. If you don't know me, I try run. All I see is my belly. I jump up and down, and my belly a gel, and I say, yeah. And
I need this, right?
Only schoolboy could give a name, eh? Just like a
Yeah,
school.
man, yes. Yeah. And the name. I just embrace the name, because when it comes to
Yeah.
name, I just embrace it. But Tony, you're the first one to ask the question. I don't forget, yeah. What's that one?
Fluid like movement, sir.
Come again?
I say it's your fluid like movement.
Yeah, man, exactly, Tony, exactly. Exactly. I'm never afraid to express myself at all. And I say, yeah, I'm going to run, I'm going to try everything.
Oh wow.
So, Dwight, the same question to you now. Your best learning experience from Meadowbrook?
They're very simple for me, unfortunately. Very simple and very short. Not everybody that say that they're your friends is really your friends. That was what I learned, because I was very trusting and took friendship literally as family, and got burnt many times. So I had to teach myself that, hey, not because them say you're me and you's friend means me and you's friend. Unfortunately, and that was my takeaway, because again, being around so many people, and knowing all these different people, and try to be friends, thinking that, hey,
we cool.
we cool, only to find out, we ain't cool. So it was a hard wake up call for me, put it that way, because of my trusting nature.
Yeah, I can relate to that, Dwight. So how soon you learn that at Meadowbrook? Is during the time or afterwards you realize it is a lesson that
For me, it was after, because I left school thinking the same way.
Yeah.
And finding out that, what them say and what them do is two different things.
Yeah.
Yeah, me and you were good. And I would even go as far as to say, I'm talking about, after school, hanging out, talking to these individuals, and then all of a sudden it's like poof.
Like a different person.
Yeah. So
that I know. Yeah. I can relate to that, though. I can relate to that. It's like, and sometimes friends and family disappoint you a certain way. You have to hold your head and say, right, it's not easy.
True.
It's not easy.
True.
It's a learning lesson.
Yeah, sometimes it's a hard pill to swallow.
Yeah, man, it is. Especially somebody we're trusting and you trust people and you expect you expect reciprocity, and that just don't come at all. Doesn't come.
That's a hard to talk.
Don't come at all. So yeah.
So as much as I hate to say, that was what I had to leave Meadowbrook realizing.
Take care and trust everybody. For what? And it's a lifelong lesson still. It is a life lesson.
Yeah, we know what
Yeah. So Liz, life lesson you learn at Meadowbrook where you pass on to your friends and family.
To actually cherish friendship.
Mm-hmm.
And realize that, kind of like Dwight said, that it goes both ways. And I feel like what I pass on to my kids is, I guess, not that saying you're sorry is okay, and wanting to change is not necessarily a bad thing. So when you make your mistakes, own up to it and just move on from it. In all honesty, I think over time, one of the things that I had, actually my husband taught me, Dwight taught me this, that friends, it can't always be you reaching out. It's a two-way street. And if you're always extending the hand, if one is not coming back to you, then you need to do something differently.
Yeah, man. That's the reciprocity I talk about. If it now come back, Liz, don't.
Yes.
And you will know. You're going to know, if you realize, are you alone at the reaching out, as you say?
Yes. And that's something I feel like it took a minute for even Dwight to say, "Hey, babes, you need to stop and take stock."
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And he can attest to that. So yeah, that's something that I had to learn.
Yeah, I want to add on to what you said. I said something earlier, but I kind of put a little different. But at the same thing you were saying is like you have to open to say you get new information, you can change your mind. A lot of people have preconceived notion about things, and it's like them realize that new information can come or change your mind.
Mm-hmm.
You follow me? I said, so you must always be open to say you get new information. What can change your mind?
Yeah.
Because you don't know. Don't disregard anything that come across it, but you just need to investigate and follow up with it and all them things. So yeah. A lot of people just don't like to change their mind at all. Like, and you said they don't want to say sorry. It's not about saying sorry. You recognize you can't get information, what will change your mind. So a lot of time I talk to people, I ask a question for them. I say, is there anything I can tell you that will change your mind? It's an upfront question I asking, and then if them can't answer that a certain way, you waste your time really.
Mm-hmm.
You wasting your time. So it's a good lesson that you learned. So it's a good lesson.
I did.
Mm-hmm.
I did.
Yeah. So Dwight, the same thing to you, a life lesson you learn in Meadowbrook where you pass on to your friends and family.
Plan your future, but live your life every day like it's the last day.
Oh Lord, he's getting all deep.
Because tomorrow I promised them none of it.
Oh.
And
Liz, behave yourself.
You have got to tell that story there, Margaret, because it sounds like there's a backstory to that come.
All right, I'm stopped.
Finish up, Dwight, sorry.
It's one of them things where I went through school with my plan in mind, but my plan got diverted. So if I was living my life the way I wanted it to, it probably wouldn't have been such a big disappointment when I got let down at the end.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why for me, you can plan out your future all you want, but it's not guaranteed. So just live every day like it's the last day.
Mm-hmm.
And then you can't put as much as I would say you put into people. You gotta remember that they're still humans.
Who are you?
And humans make mistakes, and humans sometimes will let you down.
Mm-hmm.
So if you put your all into it, knowing that it can go either or can be you on a high or you end up on a low, but you won't necessarily disappoint yourself at all costs.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Well, I want to know where Dwight was all this time when I needed to hear that.
Wait for him to finish to say, oh yeah, that's my husband.
Repeat that, Liz. I didn't hear that so well. Repeat that.
I said I'm listening to him and I'm waiting for him to finish for say, in your face, that's my husband.
Yo, Dwight.
Yo.
When the book come out, send me a copy, yeah?
Book 20 and I call it a movie in the making, so it's all right. Okay.
Just send me a signed copy, bro.
Mister, if him tell me them they want to take him would have saved me.
I am telling you. Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm sorry.
No apologies needed.
Yeah.
Nah. Good for you.
Yeah.
No, but seriously, real talk, that Dwight.
Yes,
real
absolutely. Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
I guess that's why we live our lives the way we do.
Yeah. One day at a time and enjoy what's in front of you.
Yeah.
Tomorrow promise to no one.
Nobody at all.
And take the risk. Just put yourself out there, man, and take the risk
Uh-huh.
and see what happens.
Absolutely.
It's a different thing. So Liz, back to you with another question now. What message did I get to existing students, our future student, our staff member, who are going to listen to this podcast this year or next year, 10 years' time, and they're going to come on Meadowbrook? What lesson you tell them? What you tell them, say?
I think for me, it would be whether you know of Meadowbrook or not, especially if you don't, to walk in with an open mind, like completely open mind to receive the good, the bad, and the different and learn from it. I think that would be my message. I mean, teachers, I feel, well, let's say this. I feel like every situation, whether it's positive or negative, teaches you something. So pay attention and learn from it.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Just be open, because again, I feel like if I probably was a little bit more open, I would have had maybe maybe a little bit more positive experiences if I was a little bit more open. So just be open to what you're about to receive, because it can be so much and so rewarding.
Yeah, I agree with that. Sometimes you come up, you put the wall around you and you're ready for fight, and
yes,
I guess the openness you want people to say, and yeah.
But I was a little rebel growing up anyway, you know, so I've grown a lot since.
Yeah.
But I really was a little rebel growing up. Like I was in a fight every day at primary school, so I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, one of the fighter there, I hear you.
I'm not even gonna lie. In primary school, if you look at me the wrong way, I'm waiting for you after school.
And it matter if a girl or a boy.
It don't matter if a girl or a boy, because the worst part is I have my brother and my sister at school where if I lose me, where come look for you.
Yeah, call them. I hear you.
But no, yeah, just be open to receive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So Dwight, same question to you. What message I get to existing students, our future students, our staff member, we're going to listen to this. We're going to Meadowbrook 10 years from now, 5 years from now.
To the best of your ability, follow your dreams and don't let nobody deter you from them. Only you alone can plan your future, because people can try to point you in a direction that they think you need to go. But if that's not the direction you want to go, you got to follow your dream, because you have to live your life at the end of the day.
Oh, I love you.
You gotta live your life, because you don't want to end up living your life with regrets. It's not a happy place to be, put it that way.
Yeah, I kind of agree with that too. Just express yourself, put yourself out there, man. If it don't work, so. But take
it is what it is. There you go. You can only feel yourself.
Absolutely.
If you will feel yourself if you don't apply yourself. You can't make nobody else do that for you.
Yeah, man. Sometimes let's allow some people to come in, but it's a two-way thing. I just say, you look for it, you look for the reciprocity, but you put yourself out there.
Got to.
And don't be afraid to put yourself. It's a hard thing though, because that's how we don't grow up that way there.
I agree, Jelly, because that's what I'm talking about. You have to take the risk, and I don't feel like I necessarily took the risk when I was in high school. Different person now, but I don't feel like I did that in high school. So I totally agree with you. Take that risk.
Yeah, man, yeah. And sometimes it's not even your choice, you know, Mark, that way you grew up and learn, you know. I mean, Liz, sometimes you just how you grow up and learn and you think, say, and I mean, well, the parents, your family around you think, say, them I mean you well, but as the white, as your husband, everybody have them own part for class. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And the white had his own challenge with him in terms of how his parents were strict with him and I know allow him to express himself. It's not easy. Because a lot of us, none of us pick up parents. And sometimes we're lucky if you have parents who just allow you make it what you have to do and protect you.
Yeah.
And that's all they want our children most of the time, you know? But most parents don't do that. I mean, I blame them or nobody. I just what them learn.
It is right.
Them pass on. It's not a criticism of no parent at all. Where it's a certain
I
way.
agree. I agree.
I know I was lucky if you have two parents that just make the one jelly go and do him after do and just love me. So
I would agree, sir.
I was blessed that way there.
And all those protective parents, they're coming from a place of love,
Yeah.
don't mix up. And sometimes too, you never know, because exposure, enough people, friend and friend, lead astray. So there's an appreciation for that protectiveness.
Yeah.
It comes off at some point, but certainly know it coming from a good place.
yeah. It's a nice little dance, man. Margaret, you sound like you have something to say? She gone.
I'm not gone there.
Mhm.
Following up on what both of them said, it would be nice if some people would just take themselves out of those little boxes that they lock themselves in for years. Just step out. Step out for a minute and just open yourself up to what is.
Mm-hmm.
Because you have people who are in their 50s who are still stuck at 16 and 17 emotionally.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, man.
Literally stuck there.
Mhm.
So it would really be nice if you're listening, just be kind to yourself. Just step out. You don't have to tell anybody you're stepping out. Just step out and just look around. Open your minds and welcome some fresh air.
Yeah, man.
That's it.
I don't need no permission from nobody. You just have to just do it.
That's
as
right.
Margaret said. No permission
That's
at
right.
all.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to just do it because and it's a nice thing, Margaret, when you just step out on the society for
Yeah,
express yourself.
man. And it make you feel free.
Beautiful things happen after you start that, man.
Feel so
And they say
free.
we know
and
50s
so,
I know, and Tony talk about this all the while. All the way there, so now, at this conversation, I've less to live than we have lived before. Every one of us, whether we like it yes or no, say, we live past our prime in our 50s, and we have less to live. So, a time for you to step out and just say, like, you know what? You don't much, otherwise, you don't much more. No, tomorrow, I promise you no one. Just come and enjoy the rest of your life because you don't know.
exactly.
You don't know.
Jelly, I'd add one slight little tweak to that is because certain man peak at different time, So statistically, we have less time on the clock, but it don't mean some man will peak later on. So your best days might still yet be in front of you, not because the time may be limited. You can harvest all this experience that you've had and learned. I'm sure there's a lot of things we would have done differently now with all the knowledge and experience we have. So even though statistically the days might be less that's remaining, we have a greater chance to benefit from our experience. So man and woman peak differently. So our peak may yet still to come.
No, I agree with you, Tony. I'd put that like a different day. When I say step out, your contribution might be exponentially bigger than the last 50 years once you step out of your box. Because you have so much experience and so much to offer, but I just decide to step out. You don't even know. So I understand exactly what you said to. It's not say you're going to contribute less because you have less time. Your contribution might be exponentially greater than the first 50 years because I decided to step out.
And it should be, right?
Yeah,
There's something to say about youth, but experience, there's something equally to say about experience. And Jelly, if I could use this time, because I don't want to end on a solemn note, because this is Meadowbrook Memories, but one of our bona fide brethren drop out this week,
Yes.
And it's Kevin Miles. And anybody listening to this podcast, we're not morbid or anything, but it's just the reality of diminishing time. And to what even Dwight had said earlier, if you don't capitalize on what you have, everybody only have a certain amount of time. And good brethren, Kevin Miles, just the information we got from Maurice Minot was just putting his son to bed, and that was it. Appears to have been a heart attack, and Kevin is no longer around. So, boy, enough respects to Kevin and his family and the friendship that we've had, man.
Yeah, Tony, I agree with you. I know Kevin Myers good too, from Permacal, and he was a good friend with Richie. Richie lad was my cousin, and all of them. So I know all of them out there. When I saw it, I was shocked. 2 or 3 weeks ago, him called me by accident, and I called him back, and I chit-chat to him, and a little bit on my his accent. So you're right, Tony. You're right. So as I say, it's not so we're trying to be morbid or nothing. We just realize and it's reinforcing Margaret's earlier. Just expressing yourself, man. Just come out and don't be afraid to do it. That's what we're giving a challenge to just come do it. It'll feel good. It will feel good just to come tell a story. Right? Not even tell a story, just come out and say I'm gonna start do something different. This is not life on the stage is not wrong or right. It's just a try.
Yeah.
It's just not the wrong or
right. So may I draw Kevin Miles' card just for lighten up the mood a bit, right? So Dwight, you remember Kevin Miles?
No, the name don't ring a bell. If I see him face, I probably remember.
In face, you know who he was.
I went sending a book.
Okay. Kevin was a bigger youth still and a big in body, right?
Right.
So I man come down from States to spend some time, right? And I'm up at radios with my people, man. About 9 o'clock, Kiara blew up. Beep, beep. Look outside. You remember them Toyota Crown there where the police them used to drive?
Yes.
So Kevin, here the man them come check. Buffy, Kevin, Richie Lodge, and Plucky. Them 4 brethren that come up and said, Tony Moore, come walk our road. See me? So all will pile up in this old Toyota Crown, because Kevin's dad was a mechanic, and so Kevin had access to the cars in his garage. So the man carry him go skate land. And if you know, skate land still about?
No.
My name is so long ago. My name carry him go skate land, and one day I hang out and I brought your name, look at it, Buffy introduced me to. So I'll come home now. And we're halfway through road split to Red Hills Road to go down to Dunrobin and then split. Is it Manningsville Road for go up Estonia? Right when the split.
Yeah, Tony, Manningsville Road and yeah.
So I'll go at Red Hills, but so now we're up on Red Hills Road. Before we could get to Dunrobin, one old man and one little Escort Hunter. Remember them old Hunters?
Hillman Hunter, yeah, man. Yeah.
Cut him off, Here, Kevin said, wait, him not say police. And so me like, what police them? I not say police. Kevin said, wait, him not say police. I said, Kevin Lodge draw down the car in front of the man and say, pull over. The little old man pull over, And brethren, before me know it, door flying on. Richie, Buffy, Leon Chambers, Buffy, Plucky, Garfield Hall. All of the man them round the man car asking for driver's license and registration, The man they put no officer, yes officer, seat your officer. I must say Kevin Miles put a piece of interrogation upon the man. And he think me come out, me in the car, me the only little man in the car, I say, ooh. You see the police ever come? I beer beating a go on, man. So right now, only me and Richie left to tell the tale because, boy, God bless him soul. Buffy drop out and gone. Leon Chambers. Plucky drop out and gone. Garfield. All. And, boy, Kevin drop out now. So just me and Richie Lodge for tell the tale. But, boy, that was a fun. Well, can't say the fun for me because I made it frightened. I pull over, man.
Yeah. Anyway, as simple as take it now. Liz and Dwight are almost 2. We're talking for almost 2, I'll only come like a 5 minutes.
Oh wow.
I said them conversation you're going to last couple of questions. Second to last one, not really a question, but it's like I just go on the table and ask. I'm gonna start with Liz first. Is there any question or topic you'd like comment about that I did not ask? Anything what you want to say? Or me never bring up at all. Because a lot of time, people leave this thing, them conversation, yeah, and them go home and I say, right, I could I tell Jelly that, and I forget.
So, no, nothing that you didn't ask, but when you did ask about memories, I remember I went to one of the fetes that Meadowbrook had, and it was one of that location. I think it was up off Hope Road, somewhere up there, son. And
yeah,
Liz, that
police
was a
officers club,
barbecue.
yeah, man. Me know you
it was
talk.
a barbecue. And five
Yeah, it was a
brothers.
barbecue.
A barbecue, yeah.
You remember
Huh?
the five brothers?
Yes.
I remember that when you said that. I'm like, I did go to that barbecue. I don't remember who the fight was, but it was boys from school, and I think maybe was it other schools, Max?
I don't remember
And
but I remember that barbecue because I went as well. It was the only one I did.
yeah, only one I ever went to shut down the barbecue, and I was like, okay, I guess I was supposed to be here.
But
But yeah, no specific topics that you didn't cover. It was fun. It was very interesting remembering, and Tony with his elephant memory. I appreciate you, sir. Because outside of maybe you and Max, I probably wouldn't have remembered some of the stuff that played out. But I appreciate it, and it was fun, and I enjoyed this conversation.
all right, you mentioned something that kind of draw my tongue. I remember a question I want to Tuan, because this is appropriate for Tuan, the first Meadowbrook couple. What is the song where you remember the most of Meadowbrook?
A particular song?
Yes.
Jelly, that would be a hard question for listener because Liz used to know every song right
that
out.
means
The
you can't tell
lyrics,
me why.
everything.
Exactly. And Dwight have gone to that before him come again, yeah.
It wasn't to me or her, but because I was one of them little disco boys. Double Dutch Bus.
Which one that? Oh, Double Dutch, yeah. I remember that too, Dwight, yes. Yeah. You know, the disco era, yes. Yeah.
I'm drawing a blank. As much as I knew all of them back then, I am drawing a blank.
So you don't have one favorite one? Not even for the White, you have a favorite one, you remember him, one?
Back then?
You really want to put our business out there? I don't think a boy, okay? Big man.
You know, the sad thing is that I actually know what her song was, but I cannot remember it right now. Because every time I hear it, I think about her.
Really?
Yes, because we used to love it. And somebody had dedicated it to you.
Let me tell you, some of the songs that I really liked back then. You remember Stacey Lexar?
Yeah, man, yes.
I love her songs. I love her.
Found Love on a Two-Way Street.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, man.
Sukiyaki.
Eh?
There was a
Sukiyaki, yeah. Yeah.
And there was, oh God, there's another one with a guy. But her songs, I loved her about.
Lizzie, breaking up a little bit. Your voice going in and out.
Yeah, let's come closer to the phone. Yeah, go ahead.
Outside of Stacey Lexar, I really don't remember some of the others. So Max is gonna have to remind me about that song.
What about Reasons, Lar?
Earth, Wind and Fire? Yeah.
Yes, ma'am. But
Yes.
there's a specific song. For the life of me, I can't remember it, but you used to love that song.
I'm trying to. Was it a guy that sing it?
Yes.
I'm trying to. There is one. I can't remember his name. I'm sorry. I cannot remember his name. Sorry.
It might come back before. No worry. Might come back before finish up. But a couple. The same question I ask. Is there anything where you think I could have asked or something you like comment on what I did not ask?
No, honestly, no, nothing. I think for the most part, everything, in my opinion, was covered.
Good.
But as outside of everything else, this whole thing brought back a whole bunch of memories for me. Won't even lie.
Good. That's what Liz said. You'd enjoy this more than her, and I'm glad.
Yeah, definitely. So yeah, Tony did bring back some very lost, buried memories. Can't even lie. I appreciate that, Tony.
Yeah. Tomorrow,
and rest assured, brethren, even though we all know for whatever the reasons, man still talk about your performances and who you were and what you were, and recognize you for what you were and what you did.
All right.
So Margaret, the same question to you now. Is there any question you think we could ask, or any topic we could have bring up or that didn't bring up at all?
No.
Okay, cool.
No, your questions are fairly, well, not fairly, are very well thought out.
And Tony?
I want to comment, Tony, I want to ask you a question. Do you have like a book that you write down stuff in? No, it's a serious question because I don't understand the detail that Tony has.
Yes,
it's not just a memory. Tony have some detail. You were in first and second farm and you did this, and this, and no man. Who were your teammates and remember everybody.
Yep. His memory.
And this is not just for one person, you know.
Michael and names.
You know, I'll say this. Jelly, what you're doing for so many people, allowing people to relive the memories of what was arguably one of the best times in our life, is quite significant, Jelly. Therapeutic more than, I'm going to say this over and over, but for some of us, we knew at the time that it was a special time, so we captured a little bit more than others, and so for me, I thoroughly enjoyed my Meadowbrook memories from day one, and I recognized it at the time, and so I was just able to maybe lean in a little bit more, and it was truly a special time, and you guys said it at the start. Are the people that make the difference in our sister and brethren? Are the people that we grew up with at a certain time? And look, almost 40 years later, and Jelly provide this platform, we still laugh and still enjoy each other. Truly a treasure.
Yes.
Yeah, Tony, I appreciate that. Yeah. So the last question I always ask everybody, I'm going to start with you, Liz, and Dwight can end up the same question I got to both of them, but you first, Liz. What made Meadowbrook magical?
What made it magical for me is I have to go back to it. It's the friendships that I walked away with, because I think they were a part of me getting through some difficult times, not just with school, creating and forming that bond with friends that surpass your 5 years or 6 years of high school is what makes it magical for me.
Outside of the people that I met and the people that I formed bonds and friendships with, without Meadowbrook, I wouldn't have met my wife.
Yeah. So that's your magical moment from Meadowbrook. I hear you.
Yeah.
What, you see him can't make me look bad? I should have said the same thing, though.
hear the White. I hear you. Even after so much years, you still come out and say, boy, you not forget that at all. You remember that. That's good.
What I do? If for whatever the gods had a line for me to end up at Meadowbrook and she end up at Meadowbrook, when neither one of us chose Meadowbrook for one, and yeah, we're here now. So yeah, I'm cool with the way it ended up.
Yeah, man. Yeah. And the two have the same last name and are related, so that's even better.
The way that you think, but relate.
Hey, Jelly, mix up, you know. I'm
Anyway, this was fun, and I like that conversation. This was fun. So, I'm going to the table and asking, any last word, Liz? Any last word before we close this out?
Just appreciation, because I think outside of maybe even Maxine bringing this to my attention, I probably would never have done something like this. So just I appreciate that, and I thoroughly enjoyed it. Positive and negative of my experiences was a teaching lesson for me. So I enjoy being able to actually talk about it and seeing different perspectives from other Meadowbrook students that were here. So I thoroughly enjoyed it. So thank you guys.
Mm-hmm. And Dwight, any closing remark?
Yeah, my closing remark is a two-part question for you. What was your magical moments at Meadowbrook, and what made you decide to do the podcast?
Well, two of them related, Dwight. Two of them related. Magical moment at Meadowbrook for me was when we win Sunlight in 1982. We broke the glass ceiling. The first time the school, I win a major trophy. And when we go back to Jamaica in 2016, Face called me, go burn me holiday. Face called me and said, Jelly, I have a thing for you now. That's what I mean. And I say, hey, I want to honor you because Meadowbrook win something and you're the captain of the team. And I say, really, I think everybody forget that. And in my mind, that was me think, say, not just our team alone. That wasn't about me. It was always about team. I think, say, when we put that in a black hole, it was like the memory were going to be forgotten. Meadowbrook achieved a whole heap in the 1980s.
Right.
I named them off at the beginning of the podcast. So much trophy win, road scholar, everything. I say, what motivates me is when Face said to me, say, have that. I say, but even if I just want to start talks about some memories, and my mind is Dwight, even if 10 years time, I'm going to look on this, even for me, when I go listen to it,
got you.
I'm going to enjoy the story. Because I come talk to some friend, if I football and cricket, them want to talk about, I'm going to listen. But I know, say, I'm going to have the conversation, but me know I'm going to enjoy. When I can kick up my foot and say, boy, I'm going to listen to some. I like to listen to some old music from back in the 70s.
Right.
So that was my motivation. It was going to a black hole, and I said, me, I'm going to enjoy the conversation. Because I know we'd achieve something great at the school, and it was going to a black hole. I never want that to happen.
Got you.
Never want that to happen to why. So you asked a good question. That was my motivation. So Face and Tegreg, Dante, them two men reached out to me come down in 2016 and present me with a little plaque. And I appreciate that. Yeah, go ahead.
No, I said, cool. That's so cool.
Yeah, man, yeah. That's what motivated me. And then I realized from the start, and I me want to have Meadowbrook memories. And it's not only people play sports have memories. And people have different, everybody remember different, and everybody love their memories.
True.
Everybody love them one. You love your memory, your own unique memory, the good and the bad part. Liz, your wife love your memories, both the good and the bad part. And when you talk about your memories, it make you feel good, man.
Without a doubt.
When you talk about your memories, it make you feel.
It definitely gives you, it warms your heart a little bit.
Yeah, man. It's like, as I say, it's like you listen to some old music, sometimes put in a different mood.
Yeah,
so the story we out there, and you can listen them back this year. When you feel like you go back and listen to something, maybe you're a person a story. So I was motivated by the man who inspired me. I really love Meadowbrook, man. And as Margaret reminded me last week, say she loved Meadowbrook more than me. I said, okay. I made the mistake and said the girl and I love Meadowbrook. She said, no, excuse me. I realized, yeah, that is true. I thought,
just different.
Yeah, go ahead, Liz.
No, I'm saying we just differently.
Yeah, right, exactly. Because the fact is, as Tony correctly said, we love Meadowbrook because we are perform. We know we are, in a sense, we in the mid sides, and we look back on what we achieve, But me I say, but only love it because it was just there. A different sort of love we have, just as strong and sometimes stronger, and just love the environment, everything. We love it because we were on the field and perform. Dwight was on the field and perform the same way. So me I said, I'll never get a chance to express himself fully, but yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. The memories are powerful, man. And everybody memories different. Everybody memories different.
Yep.
So, Margaret, any last words? Where's she gone? She's still on move. Go ahead, Margaret. Yeah.
Just the same as I always say. Appreciate you. Appreciate the guests who come on and share. I enjoy every single one that I've listened to. I've learned a lot. I've remembered a lot based on what people said. I absolutely love Tony Moore. And I'm always happy to be a part of anything that he's a part of because he brings kind of memories.
Yeah. And a smile.
Yeah.
Like Dwight said, what hearts?
Repeat that, Liz. That you kind of break up a little.
So, like Dwight said, it warms your heart.
Yeah, man.
It makes
yeah,
your
man.
heart smile.
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Exactly. And you know what is my favorite part?
Yeah.
Jelly. Jelly have some little mix-up way if it just slide in some little things.
These things, right?
And him slick with it. So it's so hilarious to me.
Oh,
so thank you. It's appreciated. And Laura, I appreciate you and Dwight coming. When I asked, I really didn't expect you to just say yes off the bat. So I was pleasantly surprised. Thank you very much.
Yes,
You know she's here, right?
Exactly.
yeah, chef, hold off a little and hold out pan a little bit, man. You're the one that tell her there again. She hold out pan the man for so long to her.
For years without fears.
Tony, any last word?
No, Meadowbrook family, one love here. So bless up everybody. Lizander, Dwight, Margaret, Jelly. Just bless up everybody, man. Respect to the man upstairs and just one love to everybody.
All right, people, Jenko people, let me call out on the name properly. Margaret Livermore, Tony Moore, and the first Meadowbrook couple come on the podcast. Dwight and Lizander Lawrence. Appreciate you coming on. This was a blast. This was fun. And that's what it's all about. Just fun conversation, fun memories. And that's what I told Liz. That's all about. Just fun conversation and fun memories. No gotcha question or nothing like that at all. Just fun conversation and fun. And I'm glad you came. Appreciate it. So
you're welcome.
Yeah, man. Have a good night, Dwight. And Liz, have a good night. Good night, Tony. Good night, Margaret.
Yeah, man. One love.
Yeah, man. Cool. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Bye.
Thanks for listening to Meadowbrook Memories, and remember to give us all the support and encouragement you can on whatever social media platform you are listening. And special thanks to my production manager, Kyle Prince, who takes care of everything involved in getting the podcast out every week. And without him, this podcast would not be possible. It is his expertise that allows me to do what I love doing every week, having great conversations about Meadowbrook Memories, and he's responsible for everything else. So again, thanks to my production manager, Kyle Prince.